Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that hits super close to home for anyone who's recently, traded their backpack for a briefcase. We're diving deep into a workplace communication analysis. Really, think of this as your ultimate student to professional survival guide. Because let's be real, the transition from the classroom to the boardroom, it's a massive leap. And the source material we're analyzing today zeroes in on exactly how to navigate that jump without losing your mind or your confidence. Let's get right into it.
So, are you afraid to ask your boss a question when you don't understand a task? Just be honest with yourself here. If your heart rate just ticked up a little bit reading that, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. Seriously, one of the most intimidating parts of entering the workforce is that sudden realization that, hey, you don't have a syllabus or grading rubric anymore. It kind of feels like everyone else speaks a language you literally haven't learned yet. Okay, let's dive into this, because acknowledging that anxiety is the very first step to actually overcoming it. Today, we're going to replace that fear with concrete, totally usable strategies.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll kick things off with 1. A workplace communication intro guide. 2. Receiving and confirming instructions. 3. Not understanding and not finishing tasks. 4. Techniques for reporting mistakes. And 5. Politely proposing different opinions.
All right, Section 1, Workplace Communication Intro Guide. Here's the reality check. Effective workplace communication is a learned skill. It's not some innate talent you're just born with. Our ultimate goal today is to help you transform from a passive student into an empowered, active communicator. Think about it. In school, you'll often just sit back, absorb information, and eventually take a test, right? The dynamic is pretty much a one-way street. But in the office, you have to be the one driving the clarity. The actionable frameworks we're going to cover will equip you to drastically reduce that workplace anxiety and really strengthen your real-world communication capabilities.
Moving on to Section 2, Receiving Instructions and Confirming Work Content.
Okay, this is the absolute baseline process of any job. It's the ideal workflow when receiving an assignment. Step 1, correctly receive the instructions. Step 2, confirm the work content. And Step 3, ask clarifying questions. And this brilliantly illustrates how these shouldn't be seen as some long, drawn-out, painful process, but rather 3 simultaneous actions that literally form a protective shield against future misunderstandings. By just repeating the task back to confirm the content and immediately asking questions right there in the moment, you're locking in expectations before a single ounce of work is done. It saves absolutely everyone time.
Section 3, Not Understanding and Unfinished Tasks.
So no matter how perfectly you receive instructions, you're eventually going to hit a speed bump. It happens to all of us. So how do you ask when you just don't understand? Picture this for a second. You're sitting at your desk, staring at your monitor. Your boss just dropped this highly complex project in your lap, and you are utterly lost. Look, missing a deadline or being confused doesn't make you a failure, but you do need a strategy to ask for help without looking incompetent. Because you can't just walk up to them and whine, "I don't get it." Instead, try using this script, which is directly derived from our source material. Could you clarify this specific detail so I can ensure my output matches your expectations? Guys, this phrasing is an absolute game changer. Notice how it shifts the whole dynamic from panicked confusion to proactive clarification? You're pinpointing exactly what piece of the puzzle you're missing, and you're framing the question around your desire to deliver exactly what the boss wants. It shows you're engaged, you're detail-oriented, and definitely not helpless. Now, what about when you simply can't finish the work on time? Notice the stark contrast in approaches here. On the left, we've got an anxiety-driven response. "I can't finish this today." Honestly, all that does is drop a major problem right into your boss's lap. But on the right, look at this structured professional response. "I am currently at capacity with Project A. Can we adjust the deadline for Project B?" See the difference? You are stating the reality of your workload and asking for a collaborative prioritization. This perfectly fulfills the source's directive on navigating that dreaded too much work scenario.
Section 4, Techniques for Reporting Mistakes.
Making a mistake is arguably the most anxiety-inducing scenario for any recent graduate. I mean, the panic is real. So the crucial point is how you deliver that bad news. Use this formula. I made an error on X. Here is how I plan to fix it by Y. Reporting a mistake isn't just about walking into your boss's office, staring at your shoes, and confessing your sins. It's about taking immediate, clear ownership and, most importantly, proposing a solution in the exact same breath. Your supervisor doesn't just want to know there's a fire. They want to see you already holding the fire extinguisher.
Section 5, Politely Proposing Different Opinions.
Navigating a disagreement with a superior is a bit of a delicate tightrope walk, right? You You want to add value, but you absolutely must respect the workplace hierarchy. So here's a highly effective way to phrase it. I see your vision for X. What if we also considered Y to achieve that goal? This phrasing is just brilliant. First, it validates your supervisor's original idea and acknowledges their leadership. Then, it introduces your different opinion, not as a roadblock or, a challenge to their authority, but as an additive, collaborative suggestion designed to help them reach their ultimate goal. It's polite, it's respectful, and it's incredibly professional.
Let's bring this all together. Mastering these specific scenarios directly strengthens your actual day-to-day workplace communication skills. Master the art of receiving instructions. Ask those clarifying questions early on. Communicate your workload limits clearly and collaboratively. Own and fix your mistakes proactively. Disagree with respect and real solutions. And underneath all of this, continuously report your work progress so your boss is literally never left in the dark. These aren't just little tips. They are the fundamental building blocks of a highly successful career.
Which brings us to our final question for you today. Which of these communication tools will you use in your very next supervisor interaction? Will you use the clarification script? Maybe the workload negotiation tactic? Or how about that proactive mistake reporting formula? The transition from student to professional is undoubtedly challenging, but with these frameworks, you are completely equipped to handle it. Take these tools, step into your office tomorrow, and communicate with absolute confidence. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.